श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्।
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, for the last 6 weeks, we have been having this session of Vande GurorMandalam on Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada's various stotras. Now we are in Saundarya Lahari, sloka number 83.
Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. पराजेतुं रुद्रं द्विगुणशरगर्भौ गिरिसुते निषङ्गौ जङ्घेते विषमविशिखो बाढमकृता यदग्रे दृश्यन्ते दशशरफलाः पादयुगली नखाग्रच्छद्मानः सुरमकुटशाणैकनिशिताः।
The subject of this shloka is the legs below the knee, which are called shanks, the legs below the knee. And the benefit for this shloka is Sambhanam of Chaturanga Sainya. In olden days, the Sainya used to be called Chaturanga Sainya, Rasa Gaja Turaga Padati. So, to paralyze them, to paralyze the enemy forces. So, this can apply to any enemy forces which we are faced with today. Parajayatam Rudram Jiguna Sharagarbhau Girisute Nishangau Janghete Vishama Vishikho Badham Akrita. Vishama Vishikhaha, the Panchabana, who has 5 flower arrows, that is Manmatha. We have seen before, he is called Vishama because it's an odd number. Number 5 is an odd number. If he had 6, for example, he would have become Sama Vishikhaha, even. Now he is going to become even. That is the beauty of this Leela, the story. Now that is why he is specifically called Vishama Vishikaha. A person who is having, a warrior who is having odd number of arrows, that is Manmatha. Parajayatam Rudram, in order to defeat Shiva, because he has been nurturing constant enmity with Shiva, we know that. O Girisute, O daughter of Himavan, Dviguna Sharagarbhau Nishangau. Dviguna Sharagarbhau. He normally has 5 arrows. Now he wanted to make it double because to fight with Parameshwara, you are advised to be better equipped. So he thought he should make it 10, Dviguna, double. So Dviguna Sharagarbhau. So having 10 arrows, Nishangau quivers, a quiver which will have 10 arrows, 2 quivers in fact. 2 quivers, each having 5 arrows. Janghe, that is your legs. Your 2 legs are actually 2 quivers holding each 5 arrows. Instead of the usual 5 arrows, now he is having 10 arrows. Janghe Akrita, he made your legs into 2 such quivers. Badham, that is very, very certain. Certainly he did like that. Badham is an expression which is used in Upanayana ceremony. When the child is asked by the Guru about various conditions which he has to fulfill during his Brahmacharya Vrata. When he goes to Gurukula, he has to follow a lot of regulations. Now he is dealing with them one by one. He is asking in the form of questions. And he is, for example, you should rise early in the morning. You should listen to Guru's instructions. You should listen to Guru Patni's instructions. You should not indulge in ABCD, etc. So this kind of instructions he keeps giving. And for each of these instructions, each of these sentences, he says, Badham, Badham. You might have observed, Badham means, okay, I will do it. So here it means most certainly, this is what Manmatha has done. Yadagre drishyante dashasharafalaha padayubali nakagrachadmanaha sura makuta shanaikanishitaha. Yadagre, in front of these two legs, or seen, drishyante, or seen, dashasharafalaha, the sharp ends. Phala means sharp end, we have seen before. Phala, two meanings. One is the fruit, another is the sharp end of the arrow. The sharp ends of 10 arrows. Dashashara phalaha padayugali nakhagrachadmanaha. Where are the arrows in Devi's legs? We don't find any arrows. But Manmatha says he finds where? In the two legs, padayuga, in the 2 feet, nakhagrachadmanaha. In the chadma is the guise. In the guise of the front part of the nails, toenails. Nakha agra, the front part of the toenails, actually that is only a guise, a make-believe. Actually they are arrows. This is what Manmatha claims. Sharp ends of the arrows. Now, how did they become so sharp? Sura Makuta Shanaika Nishitaha. Sura Makuta. When Devas come and prostrate to Devi with their crowns on, their crowns are studded with gems, and gems are all hard stones, as we know. And those hard stones rub against the nails, and the nails get sharpened. Shanaika, they act as a grinding stone. Shana is acting as a grinding stone. These crowns act as grinding stones, and they become nishitaha, they become sharpened. So this is a beautiful description of the janghas, the two legs, the two shanks. Indragopaparikshipta smaratona bhajangika in Lalita Sahasranam. There also smaratona bhajangika, the two legs are like quivers, tonabha, like quivers of smara, of Manmatha. Same. Indragopaparikshipta means red colored, like the Indragopa insect. Parajetum rudram jiguna sharagarbhau girisute, O daughter of Himavan, Vishama Vishikaha, Manmatha, who has odd number of 5 arrows, in order to defeat Shiva, he now decided to prepare twice the number of arrows. So he made each of the 2 legs as each a quiver of 5 arrows each. This is what he did, so most certainly. And in front of these, where are the arrows? In front of these 2 legs, you find 2 feet, you find, and in front of those 2 feet, you find toenails, and in the front part of those toenails are actually a make-believe, a guise for these arrows. 10 arrows, sharp ends of 10 arrows, and they have been sharpened by the grindstone of the crowns of Devas who keep prostrating to Devi. Parajetum rudram dviguna sharagarbhau girisute nishangau janghete vishama vichikho badhamakrita yadagre drishyante dashasharaphala padayugali nakagrachadmanaha suramakuta shaneika nishitaha.
श्रुतीनामूर्धानो दधति तव यौ शेखरतया ममाप्येतौ मातः शिरसि दयया देहि चरणौ ययोः पाद्यं पाथः पशुपतिजटाजूटतटिनी ययोर्लाक्षा लक्ष्मीः अरुणहरिचूडामणिरुचिः.
Now we have come to the lotus feet of Devi. The subject is lotus feet. And the benefit is Parakaya Pravesham, entering somebody else's body. And Jivan Mukti, the highest Purushartha, Jivan Mukti also is there. श्रुतीनां मूर्धानो दधति तवयौ शेखरतया ममाप्येतौ मातः शिरसि दयया देहि चरणौ मातः ओ मदर एतौ चरणौ these feet श्रुतीनां मूर्धानो शेखरतया दधति these feet actually carry the pinnacle of Vedas, Shrutina Murdhanaha, the head of the Vedas, the pinnacle of the Vedas, the crest of the Vedas. What is the crest of the Vedas? Upanishads, the Jnana Kanda, we have seen before, because they are the ones who talk about Parabrahma Swarupa and the relation of Parabrahma with Jivatma. In the earlier parts of Vedas, which is Karma Kanda, we are being told repeatedly about various karmas which we have to perform. But when we come to Jnana Kanda, these are the Upanishads, and Moksha being the highest Purushartha, they are treated as the crest of Vedas. So Shrutina Murdhanaha, the crest of the Vedas, Shekharataya, on the top of your head. On the top of the head of the Vedas, these feet are kept. Your feet are kept on the top of the Upanishads, which are themselves the top of the Vedas. Now, Mama apyetau shirasi dayaya dehi charanau. Etau charanau, these feet. Mama api, even for me, shirasi dayaya dehi, out of compassion, please keep them on my head also. You are keeping on the head of Upanishads, which are the crest of Vedas, but you please deign to keep them on my head also. Even though why he says also, Mama api. Api means also. Why he says also? Because I am no match to Upanishads, naturally. I am an ignorant fellow, and Upanishads are jnana akara. So there is no comparison between me and them. But I am not qualified for that. But out of compassion, please keep your feet on my head also. Then the description of the feet. Yayo padyam pasaha pasupati jatajuta tatini. When Pashupati, Parameshwara, falls at Devi's feet, whenever there is a pranaya kalaha, quarrel of love, in order to placate Devi, he falls at her feet. And at that time, what happened? Pashupati Jatajuta Tatini, Jatajuta, he has got matted tresses on his head. And inside the matted tresses, there is a river. Tatini is a river, that is Ganga. Pasaha, the waters of the Ganga become Padyam, Yayoho for the feet, they become Padyam, water for washing the feet. Pada Prakshalanam. Padayoho Padyam Samarpayami. Hastayoho Argyam Samarpayami. We say, isn't it, during puja? Because when a guest comes, we are supposed to give water for washing his feet, water for washing his hands, etc. So, like that, here the Ganga waters on the matted tresses of Shiva become actually the wash water for Devi's lotus feet. Because when he prostrates, the waters overflow from his matted tresses and drop onto the feet of Devi. Then similarly, Yayoho Laksha Lakshmihi Aruna Harichuda Maniruchihi. Yayoho Laksha Lakshmihi. There is a Laksha coating on Devi's feet, the red colored coating, the red lac coating. That red lac coating has its own beauty, its own shine. Lakshmihi, its own shine, its own beauty. So that shine becomes Aruna Harichuda Maniruchihi. It becomes the red colored shine, Aruna Ruchihi, of a gemstone on the top of Vishnu's head, Harichuda, Vishnu's head. When Vishnu comes and prostrates, on his head, this becomes a red colored, beautiful stone. That's the appearance. It's the imagery. This is an appearance. So, the foot nails of Devi appear like a ruby stone in Vishnu's crown when he prostrates. Because the foot nails are coated with this red black color, so they appear like red colored stone. Because he also falls at the feet, and these toenails come in contact with his crown. So please keep your lotus feet on my head also, just as you are keeping them on the head of Upanishads, which are themselves the crest part of Vedas. Now, when Pashupati, Parameshwara, prostrates to you in order to placate you after a quarrel of love, the river Ganga, which is in his matted tresses, flows onto your feet and becomes wash water, padyam for your feet. And similarly, when Mahavishnu prostrates at your feet, there is the red colored coating on your feet, black coating on your feet, becomes a red colored stone on his crown. Shrutinam murdhano dasati tavayau shekharataya mamaapyetau mataha shirasi dayaya dehi charanau जयोः पाद्यं पाथः पशुपति जटाजूट तटिनी जयोर्लाक्षा लक्ष्मीररुण हरिचूडा मणिरुचिः.
नमो वाकं ब्रूमः नयनरमणीयाय पदयोः तवास्मै द्वन्द्वाय स्फुटरुचिरसालक्तकवते असूयत्यत्यन्तं यदभिहननाय स्पृहयते पशूनामीशानः प्रमदवनकङ्केलितरवे.
Now, the lotus feet, further description and this benefit for this shloka is Pishata Bhaya Nivritti, freedom from fear of Pishachas. Namo Vakam Brumo Nama Nayana Ramaniyaya Padayoho Tavasmai Dvandvaya Sputaruchi Rasalattakavate Asmai Dvandvaya Padayoho. These 2 feet of yours, why does he say Asmai? These, because he is having darshan of the feet in front of him. That's why he says Asmai. Asmai is a term which means these, which is a term used for object which is close by to you. So he says, Asmai Dandvaya Padayoho, these lotus feet of yours, the twin feet of yours, Nayana Ramaniyaya, they are so beautiful, though so enchanting for the eyes. For those feet, Namo Vakam Brumaha, we tell our prostration, we tell our respects. Namo Vakam Brumaha, words of respect. Namo Vakam, we utter our words of respect. Why he says utter words of respect instead of saying I am prostrating? Because this is another way of conveying our respect. Because he is talking on behalf of all of us. The plural, Namo Vakam Brumaha. He is not talking only for himself. So he is using this kind of approach. So I am uttering words of respect to your lotus feet, the twin lotus feet, which are so enchanting for the eyes. Then, Kotaruchi Rasalakta Kavate. Alakta is the red lac or red juice. Red lac or red juice is called Alakta. Kotaruchi Rasa. Rasa means it is wet. It has been just applied on her feet. And the shine, Ruchi, is breaking out. Puta means it is shine is coming out in a flash. flashes of shine from the just applied wet red colored coating. That is what is there. Alattakavate, the feet contain this red colored coating which is wet and where the shine is breaking out like a flash. असूयत्यत्यन्तं यदभिहननाय स्पृहयते पशूनाम् प्रमदवनकङ्केलितरवे पशूनाम् ईशानः पशुपति that is Parameshwara he asuyati atyantam he develops lot of jealousy towards these feet. He develops a lot of jealousy towards this, not really towards the feet. He develops jealousy about with some other object, which we will see. Pramadavana kankeli tarave yat abhihananaya sprahayate. Pramadavana is the garden where Parameshwara and Parvati go and sport along with their attendants. Pramada actually means ladies. It's the ladies' garden. This is the garden for Parvati, where Parameshwara and Parvati go and sport. So Pramadavana. There you have got a Kankeli Taru, that is Ashoka tree. Kankeli Taru is Ashoka tree. Now, as per Vanaspati Shastra, there are specific treatments for specific trees which are to be offered by women. For Ashoka tree, if it is not blossoming properly, not growing properly, the treatment is a Pativrata woman should go and hit it with her leg. Should hit it with her leg. For another type of tree, she should go and embrace. For another type of tree, she should go and talk sweet words. For another type of tree, she can go and kiss and so on. So this is what the Vanaspati Shastra prescribes for healthy growth of trees with blossoming of flowers, etc. So what she does, what Devi does, is in her garden, there is this Ashoka tree, which she goes and hits with her leg. Yat abhihananaya. She hits with her leg. Sprihayate. For that hit with the leg, Parameshwara is very desirous. Array, this tree has got this extraordinary luck of getting hit. I am not getting that luck. She should come and hit me also. That is his desire. Prihayate. So he has developed a jealousy for this tree. Asuyati atyantam tarave asuyati atyantam. For the tree, he has developed a tremendous amount of jealousy because of this deep desire. Spriha is very deep, intense desire because Spriha is a term normally used in Vedanta for the attachment that we have for mundane objects. Unless you drop this Spriha, you cannot really develop real bhakti towards Bhagavan and Bhagavati. This is what Vedanta says. So the same term he is using here in order to remind us of the Vedanta concept. He says he has developed an intense desire for getting the same hit from Devi's leg as the Ashoka tree gets. And so he develops a jealousy for this tree. Spriha, jealousy are all evil qualities, but all those evil qualities have come to Shiva with an imagery. They should not be taken at face value. It's a poetic license for expressing his great love for Devi. The Anyonya Bhava between Shiva and Parvati is what is being discussed. And that is being discussed from several angles. So, not to be taken at face value, and even this getting hit by the leg should not be taken at face value, should not be copied by humans. These are leelas, divine leelas of Parvati and Parameshwara, who are actually one. They are looking like two, they are actually one. Whereas the human husband and wife are not really one, they are really two. In fact, the husband has nothing to do with the wife after the death of after his death, after he drops his body. Similarly, he has had crores of wives in the past. Similarly, the woman has had crores of husbands in the past. So there is no relation between them other than being husband and wife in this birth. So there is no correlation between us humans and the Leelas of Parameshwara and Parvati. This is what Tediyur has given a very strict warning. Please take it as poetic lesson of description of Leelas of Shiva and Parvati. Don't copy yourself. Padahata pramadaya vikasatya shokaha. This is what Vanaspati Shastra says. Padahata pramadaya. Whenever a woman, so the Pativrata Stri, hits with her leg, Ashokaha vikasati. Ashoka tree blossoms. So your twin feet, which are so enchanting to the eyes, we utter our words of respect, and the feet bear red colored coating which is still wet, and the shine from that coating is coming like a flash, beautiful shine. And Devi goes and hits a Ashoka tree in her garden because hit by a Pativrata tree enables the Ashoka tree to grow properly and to develop blossoms. So, when Parameshwara sees this phenomenon, he develops an intense desire for getting a similar hit from Devi's feet. So, Devi's feet are so beautiful, lotus feet, so he wants to get it's all his sport. Now, so Parameshwara develops jealousy towards the tree, Ashoka tree. Namo Vakam Brumo Nayana Ramaniyaya Padayoho Tavasmai Dvandvaye Spotaruki Rasalattakavate Asuyatyantam Yadabhyanana Jasprihayate Pashunam Ishanaha Pramadavana Kankeli
मृषा कृत्वा गोत्रस्खलनम् अथ वैलक्ष्यनमितम् ललाटे भर्तारम् चरणकमले ताडयति ते चिरादन्तः शल्यम् दहनकृतमुन्मूलितवता तुलाकोटिक्वाणैः किलिकिलितमीशानरिपुणा.
This is further description of Devi's feet, and the benefit for this shloka is Shatru Jayam, victory over enemies, and Pishaka Bhaya Nivritti, that is relief from fear of Pishachas. मृषा कृत्वा गोत्रस्खलनम् अथ वैलक्ष्यनमितम् ललाटे भर्तारम् चरणकमले ताडयति ते चरणकमले, your lotus feet, भर्तारम् ललाटे ताडयति, they go and hit your bharta, your husband, on his forehead, lalata. Why does it happen? He is explaining why it happened. Vrisha kritva gotra skhalanam. What Parameshwara did in sport, as a joke. Vrisha actually means a lie. Parameshwara is not used to telling lies. So it means sportingly he told a lie. Sportingly he told a lie. What did he say? Gotra skhalanam kritva. Gotra skhalanam means speaking ill of the family of Parvati, the maternal family of Parvati. That is, after marriage, if the husband speaks ill of the girl's paternal family, it looks very bad, isn't it? She will not like it. That is what he did, and just in sport. About Himavan and his family, he uttered some evil words. That is one meaning. Another meaning is, Gotra Skalanam has been, Kalana means using evil expression, bad expression. Gotra has been interpreted in two ways. One is this paternal home of Devi. Another is another girl, name of another girl who is not known to Parvati or maybe known to Parvati. So instead of calling Parvati by her name, Parvati, he used that name of another girl while calling him. So naturally, Parvati will develop a doubt whether this husband of mine has got relation with some other woman. So this kind of scenery he is creating. So purposely, as a sport, as a joke, he did Gotra Skalanam. He used bad words to describe the paternal home of Devi, or uttered the name of some other girl. Atha Vailakshya Namitam. Then what happened? Vailakshya, he became very embarrassed because Devi became very angry. So Devi's anger caused him a lot of embarrassment. Vailakshya is embarrassment. Because Parameshwara developed embarrassment, Namitam, he had to prostrate to Devi in order to placate her. This is what Tejur has warned us against. This kind of thing, Leelas are not to be copied by humans. These are only divine Leelas because Shiva and Parvati are actually one. They appear like two. So he went and prostrates. At that time, because the Devi is still not out of her anger, she goes and hits him on his forehead with her lotus feet. If you hit somebody with a lotus flower, it's not really a hit, isn't it? It is only a blessing. So that is what he's trying to tell us. Chiradanta dahanakritam unmulitavata tulakotikvanaihi kiligilitam ishana ripunam. At that very time, when this was happening, when Devi was hitting on the forehead of Shiva, Manmatha became extremely happy. Ishana Ripuna, the enemy of Parameshwara, that is Manmatha. He became extremely happy. Why he became extremely happy? Because he had been nurturing a constant enmity towards Shiva, that we all know. So now, since Shiva himself, my great enemy, had to prostrate at the feet of Devi who has been protecting me, my protectress, you have to fall at her feet. So he became extremely happy. In order to enjoy this further, he did a very great thing. Kirat antashalyam dahanakritam unmulitavata. Antaha shalyam. In his mind, this earlier action was like acting like an arrow, giving pain like an arrow. Which action? Dahanakrita, when he was burnt to ashes by Shiva, that old misery, old grief, old complaint was acting like uh, an arrow in his mind. Chirat, for a long time, not 1 or 2 days, many years, this has been hurting him very badly. This experience has been hurting him very badly. Now, that arrow he removed now, unmulitavata. He removed that arrow from his mind. That means he got relieved from that pain which Parameshwara had inflicted on him. He got relief now from that pain. He removed that arrow completely. Unmulitavata. And then what he did? Because he became very happy. Tulakotikvanaihi kilikilitam. He became the anklet in the feet of Devi. Because the Devas can take any form. Kamarupi they are called. So he took the form of the anklet. The anklet was already there on Devi's feet. He went into that. He went into the anklet. Tulakoti means anklet. Tulakoti Kwane he. Anklet naturally makes sounds. Kwana is sound, loud sound. Because there are tiny bells in the anklet. Kili Kilita, Manmata entered that. He made even louder sounds. Kili sound he made using those tiny bells in the form of the anklet. Because he was extremely happy. And by becoming the anklet, Shiva was falling at his feet, Manmatha's feet. This is why he was enjoying the experience even more. He was enjoying the experience of the Parameshwara falling at the feet of Devi. Devi was his protectress. She had given life to him. She had given body to him. That is one. Secondly, now he enjoys it even further. He became the anklet and Parameshwara is falling at her feet and naturally falling at Manmatha also, at the feet of Manmatha also. So he is enjoying like anything and he is making sounds of victory, Jaya Ghosha, Kili Kili. So with your lotus feet, you go and hit your husband on his forehead when he uttered in sport some words ridiculing your parental home or uttering the name of some other girl, and he became very embarrassed when you became angry, and in order to placate you, he fell at your feet. At that time, you hit him on his forehead with your lotus feet. Now, coming to Manmatha, he has been nurturing enmity with Shiva for many years, Chirati, and his having been burnt at his hand had become like an arrow. That pain was like an arrow in his mind, deep-seated pain as an arrow in his mind. Now there was an occasion for him to remove that arrow completely, to get relieved of that pain completely. When Shiva fell at Devi's feet, what he did was he entered into the anklets of Devi, and then it amounted to Parameshwara falling at the feet of Manmatha also, and he celebrated this victory by making sounds of victory, Jaya Ghosha, Kilikili sounds. मृषा कृत्वा गोत्रस्खलनमथ वैलक्ष्यनमितं ललाटे भर्तारं चरणकमले ताडयति ते चिरादन्तशल्यं दहनकृतमुन्मूलितवता तुलाकोटिक्वाणैः किलिकिलितमीशानरिपुणा
हिमानि हन्तव्यम् हिमगिरिनिवासैकचतुरौ निशायां निद्राणां निशिचरमभागे च विशदौ वरं लक्ष्मीपात्रं श्रियमतिसृजन्तौ समयिनां सरोजं त्वत्पादौ जननी जयतश्चित्रमिह किम्.
Further description of the lotus feet, and the benefit for this shloka is Sarpavashyam, controlling the snakes. Now here there is a comparison between the lotus flower and the lotus feet of Devi. The very term lotus feet means what? It's a comparison with lotus flower, isn't it? Now there is an actual comparison, quality study of the two. And what does the quality study show? It shows that the lotus is no match to the feet of Devi. So that he is proving by actually making a quality study. So he says, Himani hantavyam himagiri nivasaika chaturau. The first expression is for the lotus, sarojam. Last line says, sarojam tvatpadau. So the first expression is for the lotus flower, and the second expression is for the feet of Devi. What happens to lotus flower? Himani hantavyam. Himani is too much of snow. When there is too much of snow, it becomes completely withered. Lotus withers completely. It loses its shine. It completely lost. It's no more a good flower. Whereas for the feet with the same snow, Yamagiri Nivasaika Chaturao, the Himalaya mountain, it's called Himalaya, Himagiri, because it is full of snow, isn't it? That's why it's called Himagiri. So there she has been living. That is her home. Nivasa Eka Chaturao. So these feet are used to living in an atmosphere of heavy snow, and they still retain their shine. They still retain their all good qualities. Whereas this lotus flower is no match because it lost its shine. It became completely withered when exposed to snow. This is the comparison. Another. Nishayam nidranam nishicharamabhage vishadau. Nishayam nidranam. Lotus goes to sleep during the night. Nisha means night. During the night, lotus closes its petals and goes to sleep. Whereas, your feet, what do they do? Nishi charamabhage vishadau. During the night, Nishi, and also during the early morning. That is the end part of the night. Charamabhaga is the end part of the night. During the early morning also, vishadau, the lotus feet, shine brilliantly, clearly. Vishadau means clear. No blemish, no dosha. No dosha, no blemish. That is Vishadau. So clear shine is seen during the night as well as in the early part of the morning. Why is he saying separately early part of the night? Is it not part of the night? It is. But one who has been awake throughout the night will feel that strain early in the morning only. During Shivaratri, you must have felt 3 o'clock in the morning, you are supposed to go and take bath and continue the 4th Yama Puja. But that is the time when you will feel very sleepy because you have kept awake during the night. So that is why he is giving special emphasis on the Karama Bhata. So even during that time, when a human being normally feels like sleeping, your lotus feet do not go to sleep like lotus does. They or extremely awake and very shining, very clearly shining. Varam Lakshmi Patram Sriyam Ati Srijantau Samayinam. Now, now having ridiculed lotus two times, now he is saying something in praise of lotus, and then he is going to praise Devi's lotus feet even more. This is a very beautiful way of putting it together. Varam Lakshmi Patram. This lotus is actually the feet of Lakshmi. Mahalakshmi is seated on lotus. Varam. It's a great thing. It's a great thing, great achievement for lotus that it has become a seat for Lakshmi. It cannot be denied. It's a great achievement for lotus. Now, all the time he was ridiculing, now he is praising lotus. Yes, you are the abode of Lakshmi. But what happens to lotus feet? Sriyam Ati Srijantau Samayinam. For Samayis, who are Samayis? We have seen before, those who worship Devi through Samayachara, Antaryaga, Manasa Puja, Kundalini Yoga, Sri Chakra Puja, etc. Mentally who do, raising the Kundalini from the Mooladhara, going up to Sahasrara, or performing the Sri Chakra Puja mentally, or performing Mantra Yoga. There are many different ways of doing it. Mantra Yoga mentally. All these people are called Samayis because they are following Samayachara as opposed to Kulachara, which is external puja, performing Navavarana puja in a Sri Chakra, etc., or having a Murti of Devi and performing Ashtotra Archana, for example. Now, all these things are external puja, and Manasika puja is higher than external puja. This has been asserted by Adi Shankara earlier. So now he is giving special preference to those worshippers of Manasa puja, Samayinam. Those they are called Samayis because they are following Samayachara Paddhati. For them, Shriyam Ati Srijantau. Ati Srijantau means giving away in plenty. For Samayis, Devi's feet give away in plenty. What? Shriyam, the same Lakshmi, which is the who is seated in lotus. Lotus is the feet of Lakshmi. Same Lakshmi is being given away freely to the Samayis in plenty. So who is now greater? Being abode of one Lakshmi, is it great? Or several Lakshmis I am giving away to various devotees. Who is greater now? Sarojam Tatpadau Janani Jayataha Chitramihe Kim Tatpadau. Your feet, naturally, Sarojam Jayataha. They gain victory over lotus. What is great about it? What is wondrous about it? Chitramihe Kim. What is Chitra means wonder. What is wonder about it? Because it is obvious that there is a Saroja is no match to your lotus feet. The lotus withers under heavy snow, whereas your lotus feet have taken residence in Himalayas, which are full of heavy snow, and they are experts in keeping healthy and keeping their brilliance. Yuvasa Eka Chatura, they are unique. And lotus goes to sleep during the night, whereas during the night and the last part of the night, early morning, your lotus feet continue to shine brilliantly, clear shine. Lotus is actually the abode of Lakshmi, a great achievement for lotus, but your lotus feet give away Lakshmis in plenty to those who follow Samayachara Puja. They were devotees who follow Samayachara Paddhati. So your feet distinctly gain victory over lotus. There's no doubt about it. So where is the wonder about this? It's not a wonder at all. Himani hantavyam himagiri nivasaika chaturau nishayam nidranam nishicharamabhage cha vishadau varam lakshmi patram sriyamati srijantau samayinam sarojam tatpadau janani jayatah chitramiha kim.
पदन्ति कीर्तीनां प्रपदमपदं देवि विपदां कथं नीतं सद्भिः कठिनकमठीकर्परतुलां कथं वा बाहुभ्याम् उपयमनकाले पुरभिधा यदादायन्यस्तं दृशति दयमानेन मनसा.
Further description of the lotus feet. The softness of the lotus feet is the subject, and the benefit is controlling wild animals. That means controlling wild forces which are against us. Padam te kirtinam prapadam apadam devi vipadam. Te prapadam, the front part of your feet or the top part of your feet is actually the abode of fames. He is using plural. Fames, kirtinam padam. That means there are so many avenues of fame which the lotus feet give away to those who prostrate. To those who prostrate, the Devi bestows fame of different shades, many types of fame. So, Kirtinam, Padam, Apadam, Devi, Vipadam. They are also, they are not the place. Apadam. First was Padam, now it is Padam. First it was the abode, now it is not the abode for dangers. Vipadam, Vipadam. That means those who prostrate lose all their dangers. No more dangers for them. Because once they have prostrated at the feet of Devi, Devi does not allow any danger to come anywhere near her feet, near her worshippers. Katham neetam sadbhihi kathina kamathi karparatulam. This kind of lotus feet, how sadbhihi, virtuous people, poets, how did they compare this lotus feet, which is so soft, kathina kamathi karpara, with the top surface, which is very hard, of the tortoise, the top surface, which is very hard, the top shell of the tortoise, which is very hard. How did they compare? Because normally, this is a normal comparison with tortoise because of the shape, there is a curved shape in the top of the foot, which is compared to tortoise. Kurma Prishta Jayishna Prapadanvita. Same thing is said in Lalita Sahasranam also. So poets normally use this expression of comparison. So he is asking, Array, tortoise shell is so hard, whereas the Devi's feet are so soft, like lotus, and you are comparing these two. How does this comparison work? That is the first question. The second question is even more pointed, more intense. Katham va bahubhyam upayamana kale purabhida yada yanyastam drishadi dayamanena manasa. At the time of your marriage, upayamana kale, for marriage he is using the very interesting term called upayamana. He could have used vivaha, udvaha, so many terms are there for marriage. He used specifically upayamana kale because upayamana is the term which means the husband leads the wife towards a new life of virtue. Not that she was not leading a life of virtue all this time. Now he makes sure that she will lead a life of virtue, because if she does not lead a life of virtue, half her sins will go to the husband. We have seen it before. So he doesn't want that to happen. He wants her to be a real dharma patni. So upayamana is this process of leading the wife to a life of virtue. This is the meaning of that. So that happens from this at the time of starting of the marriage function. So upayamana kale, when during the time of marriage, Purabhida by Parameshwara, the killer of Tripuras, yat bahubhyam adaya, yat your feet, adaya bahubhyam, he took your feet in his hands, and then what did he did? Nestam drishadi, he kept the feet on a very hard stone. Drishadi is stone. Hard surface of the stone. Nestam, he kept it there. Though he kept your lotus feet, such a soft lotus feet on a very hard surface, because this is a part of our rituals, as you all know, keeping it on that grinding stone is a part of the ritual. There is a meaning for it, there is a mantra for it, all that. We will not go into that. That is a part of marriage rituals. So he has done that. Now, Dayamanena Manasa. In spite of all this, he is being called a person of compassion. Parameshwara is known as possessing a mind of compassion. Dayamanena Manasa. How is it? Katham. So, how a person of compassionate mind could bring himself to place your lotus feet on such a hard surface? That is the question. Of course, one is it's a ritual, compulsory ritual in marriage. Second is the beautiful explanation given in commentaries. The explanation is Parameshwara trained himself, even though he also has got very soft feet. He trained himself by walking on mountains. He trained his feet because he had eventually to walk in the hard surfaces of minds of devotees. This expression we saw in Shivananda Lahari. Same way, Devi, when after marriage, she will become a part of Ishvara, and both of them have to keep on blessing the devotees, which means taking abode, at least temporarily, during puja, during jhana. Temporarily, you have to go and reside in the minds of devotees. That is a very hard surface. So he wanted to, just as he has trained his feet, he wanted to train the feet of Devi also. Though it looks as if he was doing something with a very hard attitude. It is not hard-hearted attitude. It was actually a training which is required for, otherwise if he does not give the training, it will become even worse experience for her. It is like doctor is giving you medicine so that you will get cured of your disease. The medicine may be bitter. So this is a bitter medicine for the future experience which she is going to get. Because if you see Kanda Purana, Shiva Purana, where Shiva's marriage is described in great detail, all the rituals which we observe, the Homa, the Brahma is performing the functions of the Purohita, the Vivaha Homa is performed, Saptapadi is performed, Mangalya Sutra is tied, this kind of taking the feet of Devi and putting on that stone, grinding stone, all that is done. The grinding stone principle is that you will face hardship during your life and you should be able to face it, and this is an indication of that. This is what the mantra itself says. The mantra which is uttered by the husband during this process says that Sthira Bhava, you should be like a mountain in front of obstacles, in front of difficulties. So that kind of hard attitude is required. That is the purpose of putting the feet on the grinding stone. So Parameshwara was actually training her to face the difficulties, because this is mentioned in the Puranas also that so many people had come for attending the marriage. All devas, all rishis, all munis, all nagas from the Patala Loka, all rivers having taken human form, all Kalpaka Vriksha and other trees from Devaloka, everything, including Kalagni Rudra from Patala Loka, etc., etc. Now, all of them fall at the feet of Shiva and Devi. They are seated on thrones side by side after the marriage. They all fall at their feet. At that time, naturally, they have the job of blessing all of them, which means getting into their hard surfaces of mind. Some of them, maybe all of them may not be hard surface. Some of them will be hard surface. So that training has to be given during the marriage itself, because immediately after marriage is going to happen. So this is a beautiful way of saying this. So your front part of your feet is the abode of different shades of fame for the devotees. Is not the abode, does not give way to the dangers faced by devotees. How are such lotus feet, how are they described by poets, virtuous poets, as equivalent to the top hard shell surface of a tortoise? Secondly, how Parameshwara, who is known to be having a compassionate mind, with his compassionate mind, he took with his hand this lotus feet and then kept it on a hard stone surface during the time of marriage. How was it possible? padam te kirtinam prapadam apadam devi vipadam katham neetam sadvihi kashina kamathi karparatulam katham va bahubhyam upayamana kale purabhida yadadayanyastam drishadi dayamanena manasa. Drishadi means on the stone.
नखैर्नाकस्त्रीणां करकमलसङ्कोचशशिभिः तरूणां दिव्याणां हसत इव ते चण्डिचरणौ फलानि स्वस्थेभ्यः किसलयकराग्रेण ददताम् दरिद्रेभ्यो भद्रां श्रियमनिशमह्नाय ददतौ.
Further description of the toenails in Devi's lotus feet, and the benefit is Sakala Roga Nivritti, freedom from all types of diseases. Nakhairnakastrinam Karakamala Sankocha Shashibhihi. The toenails are described as moons, Shashibhihi. Why they are described as moons? For divine women, Nakastri, Devaloka women, who come and prostrate at Devi's feet, they fold their hands in respect. Karakamala Sankocha. Their hands are described as lotuses, soft. And when they put their hands together, Sankocha, they close their hands, put their hands together as a mark of respect. That is actually amounting to closing the petals of the lotus. Who closes the petals of the lotus? Moon. So the footnails act as moons for the hands, which are the lotuses of the prostrating Devaloka women. Even after prostrating, when they get up, they stand in respect with folded hands. So this applies to them. Tarunam Divyanam Hasatayivate Chandi Charanau. Devi is being addressed as Chandi, Raudra Swarupa, angry. That is the description in Shumbha Nishumbha Vadha in Devi Mahatmyam. This Chandika description comes there. So, though you are Chandi, you are very compassionate to devotees. He wants to bring that contrast. That is why he is using the term Chandi advisedly here. He never used this term all this time. He was always calling her Girisute, Bhagavati, etc. etc. But first time, Mataha, he was saying. Many times he said Mataha, oh mother. Now he is saying Chandi in order to bring out this contrast. Tarunam Divyanam Hasatayivate Chandi Charanau. Te Charanau, your feet are ridiculing, Hasatayav, as if they are ridiculing the divine trees, the Devaloka trees, Divyanam Tarunam. Why? Phalani Swasthebhyaha Kitalaja Karagrena Dadatam. Those trees, Kalpaka Vriksha and other trees which are in Devaloka, they give away fruits, no doubt, Phalani, they give away fruits by the tender Kisalayas, which are there on the top of the creeper, you know. Tender shoots. Kisalayas are the tender shoots which develop on the top of the creeper, they are called Kisalayas. With them, through their tender shoots, these divine trees give away fruits to whom? Swasthebhyaha, to those who are occupying Devaloka, Devas. For Devas, these trees give fruits through their Kisalayas, through their tender shoots. That is okay. What happens to the feet? Daridrebhyo bhadram sriyamanisham dadatau. Whereas these feet give away to poor people on earth. There it was to rich people. They were who are already flooded with all kinds of comforts. They don't need anything. There is no need for them. But still Kalpaka tree is there, other divine trees are there for giving away in case they need something. Beyond extra, beyond something which beyond what they have. Whereas the humans who are too poor, for them, Bhadram, Shriyam, Anisham, Anisham, always. Annaya, immediately, on the spot. Always on the spot. Bhadram Shriyam, very auspicious wealth. Shri means not just wealth, Aishwarya. It means all kinds of the wealth of Santati, Santana Bhagyam, good health, long life, everything is Shri only. So all this, Bhadram Shriyam, very auspicious because if Devi gives something, you ask something and she gives it, it may be harmful to you that you don't know. You are asking for something which may cause you harm in the future. You don't know about. Whereas Devi knows, so she will not give you that. She will give you something which is very auspicious. So even the Shri which she gives is qualified as Bhadram. Auspicious wealth only she will give to poor people. Always, at all times. There is no time. Whereas those now we are used to going to an office, but you get the service only during fixed times. There is no fixed time for the. You go at any time, including dead of night, she will give you. And she will not postpone. As soon as you, in passport office, you go there and apply, after 1 month you get the passport. Here it is not like that. Immediately, on the spot you get, at all times of day and night. Anisham Annaya Dadatau, to poor people, auspicious wealth. So, this is the contrast. So, your foot nails act like moons for the hand lotuses of Devaloka women who prostrate in respect, they fold their hands. So it looks as if the petals of the lotus come together, as if the lotus has closed itself because of the moon, which is the foot nails. Then their lotus feet are looking like ridiculing the Devaloka trees because the Devaloka trees give away fruits through their tender shoots to devas who are residing there, whereas the lotus feet give away to poor people on earth at all times without any delay, immediately on the spot, auspicious wealth. So, this is the contrast. नखैर्नाकस्त्रीणां करकमलसङ्कोचशशिभिः तरूणां दिव्यानां हसदैव ते चण्डिचरणौ फलानि स्वस्थेभ्यः इतलयकराग्रेण ददतां दरिद्रेभ्यो भद्रां श्रियमनिशम् अह्नाय ददतौ. We close for the day. Any questions?
No questions, Mama.
No questions. So we close for the day. We meet again tomorrow evening at 6:30 for the 6:30 to 7:30 1 hour session. We are towards the closing part of Saundara Lahari. So please join me tomorrow and let us immerse ourselves in the bliss of Saundara Lahari. Nama Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva Sri Raja Rajeshwarya Jaya Jaya.